Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the Safalo Squad Late Night Top Cat. This is Elena, and as always, it is a pleasure to be here. But today I am not recording a video, I am live bringing you the Top Cat of this 99 series, of this 99 tournament of the Late Night series. And that makes me really excited. It's been a while since I got to cast. Not because I didn't want to, it's just because a lot of things had happened. I had a crazy ton of work and it was very difficult for me to spare some time to cast the Late Night series, but we are in a whole different format and I am really excited to, start casting something that is not just a Lugia mirror. And it looks like we already have our pairings. So let me first of all, I want to wish that all of you are having a very nice evening if you're in Europe, or a nice morning in case that you are watching us from the States. So if I am not mistaken, I feel that we should start right now the Top Cat. Because there were only 8 rounds, and let me tell you which are the decks that advance into the Top Cat. So we have one Arceus Giratina, one Mew Control, one Arceus with Tapu Koko VMAX, okay, Arceus with Duraludon, Arceus Giratina, another Mew Control, Gardevoir, and Giratina Lost Box. So yeah, all is looking quite nice. As long as So as soon as someone starts sharing the screen with me, I will start casting. But I still don't know exactly who. Oh no, we have one more round. I was pretty sure we only had 8. If there is someone else, I am fine with casting round 9, but I am pretty sure that according to the schedule, it was only going to be 8 rounds. Let me check it very quickly and I will get back to you in just a second. Okay, I'm back. So the confusion arose basically because there was this message saying round 9 is starting, and I was like, wait, what? But no, it's not round 9. So basically, it's just that the 9th round is Top Cat. So that's why I am now going to enter in full screen mode, and we are going. Oh no, not again. Wait a second. There we are. Okay, so full screen, here we go, and yeah, the player is not exactly transmitting full screen, so I will have to make this bigger myself, and we are going to see everything, this amazing, exciting game from the eyes of Japanese player, I think Hino, which is someone that I have casted in the past. So yeah, really excited to see how this turns out. And For some reason, whenever I cast the late night series and whenever I cast this player, he's always playing Arceus with, I won't say weird stuff, but non-usual stuff. And in this case, they are pairing it up with Tapu Koko V Max. I think that the idea is pretty solid. So you just hit hard with Tapu Koko, and in case that you are losing, you can paralyze your opponents. But let's see if that is something that works against Mew V Max, which is what the opponent is playing in this occasion. So I am assuming that this is Mew Control. Well, no, it is Mew Control because I checked the deck lists earlier and there was no Mew Meloetta in Top Cat. So I'm not sure. I will need to check exactly what is the build that the Japanese player is running. But if they have not included Drapion in the deck, I feel that this is going to be almost an easy win for Mew, or that in theory Mew should have the advantage here. Just because it went first, it has been able to set up double Genesect, and they will probably get the first KO. And yeah, what Hino here needs to do is to try to find another Arceus, which he already has in hand, and then to try to set up a second attacker. Oh my god, so double battle VIP pass, that must feel good. Like really, really good. Okay. In the meantime, while Mew keeps doing Mew things, as you know, which is basically drawing their entire deck, I'm going to try to check very quickly what is the deck list that Hino is running. And whoa, so he got a very impressive record of 7 wins and just 1 lose. But unfortunately for him, in this specific matchup, he does not run any sort of Drapion. So he's running a 2-2 line of Tapu Koko V Max and a 1-1 line of Flying Pikachu. So let's see if that is enough to beat the almighty Mew. By the way, speaking of the devil, something that I really like of the build that the opponent is playing is Cleansing Gloves. Of course, this is a card that they are not going to be using anytime soon for this matchup, but I think it's really worth including in case that you are considering playing Mew Control, because that gives you a slightly better matchup against Gardevoir and also against Lost Box. So looks like Hino here is going for Judge and Path to the Peak. Okay, so Judge and Path to the Peak is really effective. However, my only concern is that if there is a deck that is able to deal with a Path to the Peak, it has to be Mew VMAX, especially like Control Mew VMAX, because of the fact that they run 4 copies of Lost Vacuum. So yeah, well, unfortunately for Hino, they were able to get the double turbo energy, so they are going to be now accelerating some energies, Trinity Charge. I don't know how they are going to be placing the energies. Of course, if you want to have a second attacker ready, you have to place the 3 of them in the same. But maybe it's worth, yeah, well, instead of dividing them, Hino decided to went all in for Tapu Koko. They have 1 Ultra Ball in hand, but that Ultra Ball is not going to help that much as long as Path to the Peak is still on the field. Oh wow, a Mew passes the turn! Mew passes the turn! Oh my god, that is just crazy! Oh. What was that? Did you guys see that? So this like very weird pink glow. Well, anyways, so looks like Hino is just, going to retreat. They feel very comfortable with it, so they're just going to retreat and get the first KO. Like, why is everything pink? Why is the background so pink suddenly? Oh my god, this game is so funny. Anyways, as long as this is like some sort of visual glitch, I will gladly take this. Anyways, so a lot of pink going on. But to me, it's kind of a surprise to see that such a prepared deck like Mew plus with like Mew control has been completely destroyed by Judge and Path to the Peak. So now the good news for Mew is that they were able to get the double turbo energy, and the Mew VMAX. So now this is already putting some pressure on Tapu Koko. But the Colrex experiment is now possibly going to give even more resources. I guess that the plan here is then you just attack into this Mew, right? And then you finish it off with an Arceus. And Arceus actually with you think about it, an Arceus V-Star with the Vigard energy should be pretty difficult to take down. They are now going to they are going to attack. Okay, that's fine. I thought that they were going to retreat, but I think that I like this play better because now Roxanne will be live next turn. And if Mew is not able... so we see a manual retreat here. Manual retreat, switching card. Okay, that's fine. Maybe because they want to reduce their hand to try then to use Lost Vacuum and then draw some cards. No. So just a KO. Okay, so they retreated in order to activate once again the attack of Mew. Well, they are clearly copying Genasek's attack. But now things are looking difficult for Mew because all that they need to do, so they're going to Roxanne, leaving Mew with only 2 cards in hand, and the only thing that Arceus will need to win this game is basically finding a Boss's Orders. Well, Boss's Orders and a damage modifier, but that Boss's Orders can be... that Boss's Orders is already on the hand. So Trinity Nova for 180, if I am not mistaken. Oh no, 200. Oh no, my bad. Yeah, 200, of course, because the double turbo energy is not attached to Arceus. So they basically just won. Unless Mew is able to do something very, very incredible right now, like maybe pulling out a Roxanne play, I think that Arceus might finish this game in the following turn. So let's see, because I was not expecting Mew, which is one of the strongest and fastest deck in the format. Oh, okay, so that is it. So what's with this animation, guys? What's with these animations? Anyways, so the first round just ended super quickly. It is insane how effective Path to the Peak plus Judge can be, and it does not matter what you're playing. It just has the power to block you, regardless of your build, regardless of your deck. I am pretty sure that this Mew player was running plenty of copies to get rid of Path to the Peak. Pretty much sure that they ran 3 or 4 copies of Lost Vacuum, as well as some copies of Forest Seal Stone, but it didn't work. Okay, so let's get into game number 2 here, and I am pretty sure that the Mew player is also going to start, or will want to go first again, because of course you want to get the first KO on Arceus. So let's see. It does not really matter who wins the coin flip, because we know that the Mew player gets to choose who goes first in the scenario. So they decide to go first. And by the way, it makes me very happy to see that people play the sleeves and the goodies that they received in London, because I still like design-wise, they are one of my favorites. So, okay, so at Tapu Koko start, which is not ideal, but yet again, so they were able to find, Hino was able to find a Nesbolt and a way to use Trinity Nova turn 1, which is pretty good. Okay, so now double Genesect, a Mew V on the active position, and an Ultra Ball discarding switching card and Lost Vacuum. I am sure that they wish that they had the Lost Vacuum one game earlier, but anyway, so they were able to set up pretty good, I would say. Now they are probably going to be drawing some cards with Genesect, yet another Genesect, which is now putting them into the 5 cards range. And yeah, let's see if they... Okay, Now they got for the Seal Stone. This is going to be huge because that will prevent Path to the Peak from being effective. They will probably just grab whatever card they needed. Probably we are just going to see how they pass the turn, right? Yes. Okay, so now Hino's turn. What are they going to find? So Arceus, of course, is the priority. You need to power up Arceus in order to start charging up the rest of your attackers. So he's taking a quick glance at the deck. I feel that maybe the Temple of Shino can be a good card to play mid/late game, but let's see if Arceus is able to even reach late game against such an aggressive deck as Mew. So they decided to play Scarecrow, which again, like, makes a lot of sense. You want to use Trinity Charge and start powering up the rest of your attackers. Now, I wonder if they want to use the Ultra Ball here, or they want to preserve it for the next turn. Looks like they are going to go for Trekking Shoes, which reveals a Judge. If they really wanted, they could use Judge here. But no. So looks like they are considering using Boss's Orders to maybe force a switching card from the opponent. Yep, so they just use that. So Genesect hits the active position, and they are going to go for Trinity. I think I keep saying different attack names, Trinity Nova and Trinity Charge. But well, anyways, the thing is that they are now using the attack to distribute some energies among the field. And in this case, this is really interesting because Hino decided to power up the Arceus V, which I understand it will hold a lot of value. However, if they are able to get the KO on that Arceus V, things are going to be very difficult. Oh, and look at that. So double cross switcher for Mew, which is getting rid of the problem of having Genesect stuck in the active position. So, wait. So is Mew playing Temple of Shino? Well, I need to check that. Why would Mew play Temple of Shino? Let me check the list very quickly, because that is something that I don't really understand. Why would you play Temple of Shino in this situation? Maybe I'm missing something. Not entirely sure. So yeah, they run one Temple of Shino. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess that what they are trying to do is to maximize the ability of Genesect to draw cards, and they are going to be using Lost Vacuum to get rid of their own Temple of Shino. Maybe that's the. Oh no! Wait. What? Okay, so I have the feeling, I'm not sure exactly what is going on there. I have, this is really distracting. I have the feeling that they played down Temple of Shino and they kind of forgot that it affected them in some way. But I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this obeys a really well-thought strategy. That's something that only the Mew player can tell. Because, yeah, I mean, they are going to be able to attack, which is the end goal. It's just that, in my opinion, I'm not entirely sure if that is the best way to use your double turbo energies, considering that you only run, 2 copies of them. But, anyways. So they, or maybe what they were aiming for, which is also another possibility, was to avoid having the damage reduced. So that way they were able to just KO the Tapu Koko without having to worry about anything. By the way, I didn't mention it, but we might just see game over here. I think it's game over, right? I think that Mew just wins this one. I think that Mew just wins this game as long as they have another switching card and they have not used the V-Star ability, so they can very easily do it. Okay, no, they didn't need it. Okay, so now they are going to just attack. Okay, well, they had the third energy, and very quick games. So this one just finished in like what, 4 turns? 5 turns? Yeah, very, very quick games. So a bit unfortunate for Hino not being able to draw into more Pokemon or more supporters. But at the end of the day, that's the problem that sometimes you can possibly run into if you play an Arceus variant. Okay, so 1-1. So far, the round is now in a tie. So they are going, I imagine, to go to the third and decisive game. I would imagine that in this situation, it is Arceus the ones that will go first, because of course you want to have access to the VS start and maybe hopefully use Judge plus Path to the Peak to lock your opponent. But let's see what happens. So far, really interesting games. So I love that Ho-Ho coin. I need to know how to get it. Anyways, so yeah, of course, Japanese player is going to go first. The ideal start here will be Arceus plus an energy. And they got it. Okay, that's fine. That's everything that you can wish for. Now, as long as you don't whiff the energy onto the Arceus, that's more than fine. And then looks like Mew is going to have to give Arceus a mulligan. That sounds right. So let's see. The thing here is that unless they open up with Genesect, the Arceus player will be able to get the first KO, and I feel that this is huge. So, okay, they open up with Mew V, and the hand is looking pretty solid. So I think that here you go for Tapu Koko in this scenario. Okay, that is it. And then they are checking the price count, the energies. I feel that there is another V-Guard energy price, but apart from that, nothing too serious, right? No, I don't feel nothing too serious. They are going to bench another Arceus, that's fine. Then energy gets attached into Arceus, and they are going to go ahead and play Path to the Peak. Are they? Yes, they are. Okay, that's interesting. It's true that in this scenario, if you go first with Mew, it's not that you need to draw that many cards. When Path to the Peak really hurts you is in the second turn, but it might be effective. It might as well be very effective. So let's see, Cramomatic. I have the tendency to call poor Cramorant for whatever reason. But they hit heads, and that might be huge. Now, depending on their hand, they might decide to go for a card that will set up their field, like Battle VIP Pass, or a card that can remove the stadium. Now that we know that this Mew version plays Temple of Shino, maybe we see that they are countering the stadium with Temple of Shino. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so they are clearly checking that everything is there. We, of course, cannot see the card that was grabbed via Cramorant. So 6 cards in the hand of the Mew player. Let's see what is that they decide to do. Of course, unless they have another puzzle piece in their hand, then they need to decide whether to set up or whether to get rid of Path to the Peak. But it can't be both. They need to have at least something in hand. So, wow, okay. So double Battle VIP Pass, that sounds scary. And I wonder, and they have a way to remove, they have a way to remove Path to the Peak. Wow, that's pretty big. And that's even worse because now, look at that Judge. That's why I keep saying that even if Mew, in my opinion, is not the strongest deck in the format, Judge and the combination of Judge and Path to the Peak, guys, it's so insane, so effective that it can just win entire games against anything. Now, look at the hand that Hino drew. So, what are they supposed to do in this situation? What is he supposed to do in this situation? I guess that you just try to power up your attackers, and that's pretty much it unless you top deck something. Okay, so Tapu Koko evolves, Tapu Koko VMAX hits the field. But Mew has the advantage. Mew has an incredible advantage in this point. At this point, yeah, I guess that they are considering attaching the second double turbo energy, but no, they are just going to go. Oh no, so are they going to touch it onto the bench Arceus? I don't know. Also, even if they had drawn the Arceus V-Star, I don't know if that would have really changed anything, because Path to the Peak is on the field, so there is no way that they would have been able to activate its ability. So okay, yeah, they are just going to accelerate some energies into the Tapu Koko V and pass the turn. Now, the thing here is that Mew can go wild, and start doing Mew things. All that they would need to do is to use the Forest Seal Stone that Genesect has attached on the bench, get a Lost Vacuum, discard one card, and start drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. And it looks like this is exactly what is happening right now. So the V-Star power has been activated. Yes, that it's what has happened. They discard one Boss's Orders to get rid of Path to the Peak. And now they can start drawing cards non-stop. All that they need is a switching card to get the first KO, because also Mew has the Choice Belt attached. So they drew 3 cards, if I am not mistaken. Let's see, I am assuming that they ran at least 3 switching cards. Well, they might run even more if you count the cross switchers. If you count the cross switchers. So now they benched another Mew V with Feather Ball, and that means that Genesect is now going to be drawing till they have 6 cards in hand. All that they need again is a way to take Genesect out of the active position, and that's pretty much it. They don't need anything else. So Ultra Ball here, they are going to be discarding some cards, in this case another Ultra Ball and the Temple of Shino. They are probably going to evolve the second Mew VMAX, and now the third Genesect, or the second Genesect, is going to activate, and they will draw 5 fresh new cards. So is the switching card in there? Another Forest Seal Stone, okay, yet another one. Power Tablet, that means that they don't have it. This is huge. The fact that they are using so many damage modifiers to get the first KO, that can be a problem in late game. If they whiffed the KO here. Oh, and they judge. Okay, this actually gives Hino a chance, because remember, like, his hand was completely unplayable. And they get the switch card, which in this case is Escape Rope. So they are going to get the KO on Arceus, but I have the feeling that this turn turned better for Hino than if you compare it to how it was looking just 10 seconds ago, before the judge. Okay, Path to the Peak hits the field, but fortunately for Hino, he has access to Temple of Shino, so if he really wants to, he can play it down. And not only it will hopefully shut down the possibilities of Mew to attack, but also it will give him access to the V-Star ability of Arceus. So okay, let's see, what do you do in this situation? Honestly, I think that the priority here is to evolve your Arceus V, because if not, your opponent can just use Cross Switcher and target it and attack, and then use maybe Echoing Horn and finish off the game, getting 2 prizes, 2 prizes, and 2 prizes. But let's see, because the timer has already started. So what do they want to do in this scenario? Yeah, I understand, because on the one hand you want to set up another attacker, but on the other, having non-evolved V Pokemon against Mew is not great, depending on how many gasting effects they have left. We know that 1 Cross Switcher is already on the discard pile, and that 1 Boss Orders has joined them. But I don't know. Oh, okay, so they decided not to play anything. And are they just going to Juniper their hand away? Is that what is going to happen? Yeah, looks like this is what is going to happen. Okay, all good. All good. So the V... Now, I understand. I guess that they wanted the Back to the Peak to stick just so that Mew wouldn't have or would have limited drawing options. I think that's why they decided to keep it. But on the other side of things, the issue that I see with this is that you are kind of risking not being able to use your Arceus V-Star ability. But well, hey, that is... I'm not a big pink fan, and the way in which the screen is looking right now, maybe this is a hint that we are going to get fairy types back into the game. Is that what the designers are telling us? And now we have a glitch Mew. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to be very professional, but this is just too funny to ignore. Wait, what was that? Did they play Serena or did they play Judge? No, okay, I think that... Okay, sorry about that. I know that I am not being like super professional, but it's just that I am finding this very, very hard to ignore. Anyways, I think that what happened is that they used Serena to discard the Judge, but for whatever reason, the Judge, instead of going to the discard pile, stayed on the field for some seconds. Anyways, so what has happened is that I think that they were able to... Well, I lost track of what happened anyway with so many pink. But anyhow, so it seems like that Arceus V was dragged into the active position, and now it is... it has been damaged by a second Mew VMAX. Okay, that is what happened. Now, I imagine that here what Hino wants to do is to, of course, retreat that Arceus, because you don't want that Arceus to stay there. And maybe the thing is that if Hino wants to win this one, it needs to KO to Mew VMAX, right? So yeah, maybe that's the play. Just keep attacking with Tapu Koko until and hope. Also, wait, I have one question. Maybe the blinking Mew in the game is the way in which the interface is trying to tell us that it's paralyzed, because it should be paralyzed, right? Yeah, I think okay. So when you see the active Mew blinking, it's because it's paralyzed. That's a paralyzing effect. Okay. Oh, well, that's something that I was not expecting. Anyways, that's something that I was not expecting. And now this is absolutely huge, because they were able to get 3 prizes, and now that Mew on the bench is forced to Psychic Leap. If they don't Psychic Leap, or if they don't play Judge or Roxanne or something like that, then they can just use Boss's orders and close the game. So Hino might be able... Oh, but there is Roxanne here! There is Roxanne! Oh, yeah. Well, but still, they don't get the KO, do they? No, they don't get the KO on the Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko is looking strong. Tapu Koko is definitely looking strong. They don't get the KO on... And now, I think that it will also come down to whether that Mew is able to find a switching card or not. Let's see what happens here. So Ultra Ball gets played, discarding a Stadium and another Battle VIP pass. So they are going to go for another Mew, yet another Mew. I think that this is the right thing to do. And Double Turbo Energy gets attached into the benched Mew and Cross Fusion Strike. By the way, guys, if for whatever reason my voice is a bit low or you hear the music too high, just let me know, okay? And I will adjust it accordingly. Yeah, so I think that in this scenario, you just attack. You just go ahead and attack with Tapu Koko, right? And hope for the best. Hope that they don't have anything to retreat that Mew from the active position. I feel that this is what you need to do. I'm not sure if you want to kind of accelerate some cards from your deck. Maybe, yeah, using Arceus. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Good thing is that they have, so now that I'm seeing the discard pile, they cannot use Cross Switcher because 3 copies are already there. And there is 1 Escape Rope. So I'm not sure how many other switching cards they run. I think that we are just going to see Tapu Koko attacking and that's it. Unless they want to retreat and attack with Arceus and accelerate energies. Maybe that is what they are considering. Yeah. I mean, both options have pros and cons. So let's see. Looks like they are checking options and the timer started. Okay, so they are going to retreat and attack with Arceus B. Okay, that's fine. So that way you're accelerating energies, but on the other hand, you're basically letting your opponent not have to worry about finding a switching card. And then the last energy is going to go into the benched Arceus. Okay, that is fine. Now, the Arceus might get KO'd here. That Arceus is probably going to get KO'd, but unless they are able to find the 3rd copy of VMAX, I feel that Hino can win this one. Okay, so big Chromomatic swing. So, and they found heads. Okay, they found heads. So this is absolutely massive and absolutely huge. Because now what happens is that if they are able to find the 3rd copy of Mew VMAX, they just retreat, they attack with the fresh Mew VMAX, and that's pretty much it. Hino still has a chance. If they weave a switching card. Why did I see I think I saw like a boss orders or something like that. Well, anyways. Another option could be to Psychic Leap here, but I don't think that... Well, I'm not entirely sure of what the Mew player is going for. We also don't know the card that they picked. Oh. So... Okay, so they use Palpad to shuffle back something that I didn't get to see. That's something that, for whatever reason, it's not easy to identify what cards is your opponent shuffling back whenever they play a recycling card. I just don't see it. Okay, so they decided. Okay, so that was it. So basically, what they did here, and this is actually quite interesting. This is actually pretty well thought. So they used the rare candy to be able to use Psychic Leap to shuffle the damaged Mew onto the bench, and now they are basically telling Hino, okay, you know what? If you want to attack, go over. You can take my Mew, but I am going to KO you back in my turn. So that was a pretty interesting choice. That was really, really, really interesting. Okay, so they were able to find here Judge. If they want to stay in the game, now what needs to happen is that they need to play the Judge. They need to find an Energy and an Arceus V-Star. I cannot see any other chance for them coming back into the game than pulling that combo. That's the only possibility I see. Okay, so Judge gets played here. And they weaved the energy. That's a bit unfortunate, but still, I guess that you can always go for Escape Rope. Try to paralyze something with the help of, well, you know, the attack from Tapu Koko. And after that, you just hope to get something to take you out of this situation. I don't know. It's not something easy to decide here. Okay, so they are going to play Escape Rope. And now I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a Genesect. Yeah, that's it. So we are going to, so Genesect hits the field. And I guess that you just attacked, right? Yeah. You just attack. It was a bit unfortunate for them to miss the energy, but honestly, there were not many energies left on the deck. I think that they have thinned out the deck already. So yeah, you see, so the blinking thing means that the active Pokemon is paralyzed. So we have just figured it out. Now, why on earth is the board pink? That I don't know. But at least we figured out what the blinking cards mean. And yet another heads from Cramomatic. Oh my god. I think that this could be it. This could be it. As long as they have a switch card, they just won. Or another copy of Escape Rope, whatever. That is it. As long as they have it available, they have just won. Yeah, no need for anything else. No need for anything else. Okay, so what are they finding? They only have 13 cards left in their deck. I am almost scared about Genesect disappearing off the field, and that would be just so incredible. That would be like, please. Okay, oh, another Roxanne. Okay, another Roxanne. Well, I guess that this is what they got from the. What is it called? Sorry, from the ball pad, right? Because we didn't get to catch it. Okay, so they now just pass the turn. This Gold Rush might be. I'm not sure if this will be game changing, but maybe this will help. So definitely, what you need to do here in this scenario, you need to evolve your Arceus V-Star, that for sure, and you need to retreat your Tapu Koko, and you need to pray that your opponent doesn't have a second copy of boss orders in hand. That is everything that is left. I feel that this is everything that is left. Okay, so you can discard if you want the Trekking Shoes and one double turbo energy. But no, they are first going to go for Temple of Sinnoh. Oh, actually, Temple of Sinnoh could even be interesting, right? Because you are kind of forcing your opponent to have another copy or a way to deal with the stadium. Now, the only issue is that if you play it down, but if you play it down, you have access to your Arceus V-Star ability. I think that they are trying to make sure that they have already played all their outs. So yeah, we are going to see Tapu Koko retreating. Then the energy. Okay, so the energy goes back into Tapu Koko. That's interesting. I can only imagine that this is the case because Hino has identified that the opponent has run out of switching cards. That is the only explanation I possibly have for this. Instead of, evolving into Arceus V-Star, of course. So, okay, well, there is nothing else that you can do here. Well, yeah, true. You can go for Arceus. You can evolve into it. That beautiful, beautiful animation. And then you Starbirth. Yeah. And I wonder what they are going to get. So a Boss's Orders, which they already had. And what else? Maybe a Choice Belt. Let's see. What is it that they select? And a Roxanne. Okay, so, well, Roxanne, no. On a second thought, Los Vacuum. Okay, so that Tapu Koko can attack. And that's it. They just have to end their turn. Now, does Mew have a way to take Genesect out of the active position? Because remember that if they don't have another path to the peak, they cannot just play a double turbo energy on it. Okay, well, they had a path to the peak. And they have a Lost Vacuum, which means that in case that they find the remaining double turbo energy, they just win the game. Well, no, they don't win the game. They need, my bad. They need a combination of double turbo energy to retreat and boss orders. Another Cramomatic, so Ultra Ball getting this card, and another heads. It's 4 out of 4 heads, right? For Mew. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. So, but still, like, they need those combination of cards. But if they hit heads with Chromatic, it's very, very, very easy for them to pull it. Okay, Echoing Horn. Now, targeting Arceus. Serena is going to probably choose that Arceus and force it to move into the active position. That is it, and all that they need to do is to draw until they find the remaining energy and attack for the game. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first semi-finalist. Yeah, that was more than enough. They are going for the overkill. It was a very entertaining game to watch. I feel that it's still impressive how Hino was able to still battle till the very last turn of the game, but at the end Mew proved to be really, really, really powerful. And also, like, why not? We had our moments, right? So we had our moments. We saw some very funny interactions with the cards. I feel that there are two options, and this is just my personal opinion, while I wait for the next round to get it streamed. But there are only two options. Either we try to take it with some sort of sense of humor, or we just all cry, which is, I mean, don't despair. I really, really, really hope that at some point this will get better. This will get better and we will have a beautiful interface. And then 1 year from now, we will all be laughing about these kind of things. Anyways, so let me check very quickly who advanced into the semifinals. So looks like, let me tell you the decks, because we already have everything here. So, I mean, when every match has already finished. So we have Arceus Giratina, Arceus Duraludon, we have another Mew Control, and another Mew Control. Okay, so Giratina, Arceus Duraludon, and mirror match for Mew Control. Now, I need to wait to see if there is anyone that is willing to share the screen with us. And once we have green light, I will start casting the semifinals. But so far, I have to say that I am having fun. It's also very nice to see some non-usual type of decks being played in a tournament like this. So hopefully, I would personally love to see not the Mew mirror match, just because we have already seen a game from Mew, but I would love to see the Giratina versus Arceus Duraludon. So, okay, I'm going to be right back as soon as I have green light from the players. So please stay tuned. Okay guys, we are back and this is the game that we get to see. I still don't know, or I didn't catch exactly who we are going to be seeing. Okay, so this is the Mew mirror match that I just mentioned. Again, not that I have anything against Mew, I myself am a Mew player. It's just that I would love to have some more variety to this late night Top Cat, but anyways, so let's see how this game turns out. I feel that the Mew control mirror match is often, it comes down to whoever gets the first KO. You just ignore the Mew VMAX from the opponent and you just go escape rope, KO your Genesect, escape rope, KO your Genesect, and then boss's orders, KO your Genesect. But of course, it depends on the setup, it depends on sometimes the opponent Mew player whiffing a way to getting rid of Path to the Peak. So while I do think that Mew games can and are definitely skill based, also at the end of the day, they are pure luck. Depends on whether you're able to get rid of Path to the Peak when you need to, or whether you whiff the attack. So, no battle VIP pass from this player. Also, I need to check exactly which is the name of this player. They have a nickname that I'm not sure if I can pronounce, and they come from Indonesia, by the way. Well, both come from sorry. So one comes from Indonesia and the other one comes from Poland. Yeah. So the opponent playing on top comes from Poland, the Bulek, and the other one comes from Indonesia. Okay, so in comparison to having like a proper Mew setup, we can say that no Battle VIP Pass was played, and that is a huge issue. Now, Bulek has been able to draw a Battle VIP Pass, so I guess that in this scenario you go for a Genesect and for another Mew. That's your priority, to always have at least double Mew on the field. Even 3 Mews would be advisable, but then it would depend, because if the player on the bottom side is able, the one that we are watching his hand, if the player on the bottom side is able to pull the first KO out of the judge, then things will be very different. But let's see. So far, Battle VIP Pass, they decided to grab double Genesect, okay, and they seem to be considering options. So Feather Ball gets played in this case to get another Mew V that is immediately going to hit the bench, and yet another Feather Ball. Okay, so well, okay, you don't need Battle VIP Pass, apparently. And then double Turbo Energy and Serena. I don't know what to think of Serena in these kind of decks. I guess that it definitely serves a purpose. It's just that I feel that I am a big fan of just running old, good boss's orders, you know? But I get why Serena is here. Now, some cards were discarded. The first Genesect has already been used. I wonder what is this down-facing red arrow in some Pokémon. I imagine that it has to do with them being used or being played this turn, because one arrow got placed on Genesect as soon as it activated its ability, but there are 2 Mew in the field which had the same mark, so I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, this can be interesting, this can be huge. They have decided to discard 1 double turbo energy in order to set up a 3rd Genesect. And yeah, it's true that maybe you don't need that many attacks, but definitely discarding 1 energy in a mirror match, considering that you only run 4, can be slightly risky. Okay, but they have now used Path to the Peak. I imagine that, of course, this means that they have a way out of Path to the Peak, and let's see what happens here. So, the active player now does not have a lot of options. I feel that the only thing that you can do in this scenario is to attach the choice belt to the active Mew and go for Judge. if you really wanted to thin out your deck, you could use escape rope, sorry, not your deck, your hand, to try to maximize the chances of you drawing into the Mew VMAX, is to use escape rope plus switch card. But I'm not sure if that is really worth it. At the end of the day, this has to be a gamble. This has a very high gambling strategy, but this is all that you can do, right? This is all that you can do. Okay, so escape rope. They're probably going to just promote the other Mew. Yeah, they're promoting the other Mew. Then you go for the switch card, and then you go for Judge, right? Well, if you want to even reduce your hand side, that is what you need to do. But let's see if they're able to find the Mew VMAX, and they don't. That's very unfortunate because look at that hand. So even with Lost Vacuum in hand, they just cannot draw because they had not been able to set up more than one Genesect. And this reminds me to the last cup I played. This was exactly how I drew. So I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay, so the Forest gave the Polish player the Forest Seal Stone, and that, you know, guys, what this means. So this is going to give them access to Lost Vacuum. They are probably going to draw into a Mew VMAX. They are going to get the first KO, and I feel that this is almost going to be game over, because by the time the opponent is able to set a second copy or two copies of Mew Vs, the price advantage that the Polish player will have will be just insane. Oh, and they also got the Mew, or maybe that was searched. Maybe that was directly searched via the Forest Silstone. Yeah, maybe that was it. So they are going to get the first KO, and is absolutely huge. Not only because this is the first KO, it's because they are KOing the only Mew V that the opponent had on the field. So what do you do in this scenario? What do you do in this scenario? Yeah, I mean, you're going to use Chromomatic, discarding the Battle VIP pass, and then what? Like, you cannot activate Roxanne, you cannot draw cards because you have no Pokemon in your field. I guess that you could potentially discard the Stadium, try to go for Chromomatic to find the Judge, maybe? I don't know. What do you do here? Yeah, I think that the only hope would be to try to find a Judge that would potentially, or that could potentially, give you some more resources. But even that does not guarantee anything. Okay, so there is the heads. There is the heads. So what are they going to find? Oh, by the way, I love the full art Cyrus. That art is absolutely sick. I think that the only drawing option is Judge there. Unless I am missing something, the only real drawing option is Judge. Okay, yep. So they're going to go for Judge and Pray. That is pretty much it. So Judge and Pray. And they didn't get any Pokemon. So being this the case, I feel that all that you can do is play Chromomatic, discarding maybe one Power Tablet, hope that you hit the Mew, and attach the double Turbo Energy onto the Mew V. Now, if the opponent has a Boss's Orders, it's game over. It's sadly game over. Well, another heads at least, which is not that this is going to solve a lot in this situation, but well, you know, at least this is game number one. So they are going for Mew. They draw one card. This is Trekking Shoes. Ultra Ball. Do they want to keep the Ultra Ball here? Well, if they... No, they cannot keep it because they cannot use it. Oh, well. Things are getting better. So Genesect into Netball. Netball into the second Genesect. 2 more cards. Let's see. Ooh, and a Feather Ball. Okay, that's fine, I guess. That's fine. I have the feeling that this might be a little too late. That, yeah. Now the decision here is whether to use the Feather Ball and to get another Mew, or to take or to hold onto the Feather Ball till you, for your next turn, to evolve into your Mew V Max. But looks like no, they just decided to go into the Mew V Max. And I think that they just passed the turn. Okay, that's fine. Now, I must say that I feel that if the opponent is able to get another KO, the game will end right now. So all they need is a boss orders. All they need is a boss's orders and a way to, of course, retreat that Mew. So the second Mew VMAX hits the field, double turbo energy, which meant that most certainly we are going to be seeing a KO, fusion strike for 5 cards. The ability, like, who was the person that designed Genesect's ability? It's just absolutely insane. Okay, so they are now retreating. They still need 1 damage modifier though, in order to get the KO. So let's see. I'm pretty sure that they have the damage modifier or not. They used Path to the Peak. If they had the damage modifier, they would have used it before Path to the Peak. So, whoa, okay. They are not getting the KO here. Or they are? Yeah, 190, of course, sorry. 190, my bad. I somehow am fixated with the idea of Mew having to have 1 damage modifier to KO every V in the format. But the reality is that it's real, because most of the relevant V Pokemon in the format have like, what, 220 HP, but not Genesect. And I have the feeling that the game is over. I don't know if the player from Singapore is going to have any possibility to come back at this point. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, you get a KO, but your opponent only needs another KO to win the game. So, well, Roxanne might be able to help. So, let's see. Roxanne here. I still feel that this is still a bit too late. Okay, they bench at Genesect. Now, they can maybe play the Ultra Ball to get a V Max, and at least to get the attack. And they also have access to Palpad, so if they want, they could recycle the boss's orders. Okay, there it is. So Mew V Max gets picked up. Okay, they are going to evolve, well, no matter, because they still have free retreat, and I would imagine that they would use, okay, so they are holding into the Palpad. Okay, that's fine. They are holding into the Palpad. So they are attaching the Choice Belt into the Mew, the active Mew VMAX. They are going to, I think that they have to play down the Path to the Peak. And it is now when they have decided to use the Palpad to recycle 1 Boss's Orders and 1 Roxanne. Okay. 3 judges are already on the discard pile. What did that happen? I think that I missed at least some of them going to the discard pile anyways. And we are going to see an attack. Well, of course, Path to the Peak is going to be played, and then we are going to see an attack, right? In this case, what do you attack with? Technoblast, Psychic Leap. If you use Technoblast, nothing guarantees you getting the KO next turn. But anyways, let's see. Because if the opponent is able to draw its way out of that Roxanne path, there might be chances of the game finishing right now. So let's see. Let's wait and see. If not, it is as easy as doing that. Yeah, just taking a manual retreat and attacking with the next Mew. Okay, that is fine. So the next Mew attacks and then pressure goes back. Ooh, that was an insane top deck. That was actually a really cool top deck. It was one of the only cards that they were able to use. So I wonder, of course, like, you need to play it down, but what is your game plan here at this stage? What is it that you want to do? Attacking that active Mew V, I'm not sure that it's really worth. So maybe you want to use, you definitely want to attack And ideally you want to attack and KO the Mew VMAX that has some damage counters. I don't know. It's complex, right? It is complex. And also, I don't know what you guys think, but I feel that a good feature for Pokémon TCG Live would be to have the possibility to turn on or off the timer, because to me it gives me some anxiety to see the timer starting to run and realizing that I only have like 12 seconds to make a decision. But anyways, I mean, it's not the case. And for this type of tournaments, I think it's fine. But maybe for friendly matches, or especially for coaching sessions, I feel that this is something that should be allowed. Anyway, so yeah, what do they want to do here? What do they need to find? What is the way in which you can come back into the game? Maybe another Roxanne? Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to Roxanne's idea. That probably would have been my option too. At least you get to attack, which is good. At least you get to attack. I guess that if your opponent misses everything for 2 turns, you might have a chance to come back into the game. And Roxanne and Path should have helped, because if you think about it, the Polish player still has like 29 cards in deck. What are the chances of them being able to draw boss's orders and all that? So, okay, so they decide to remove Path to the Peak, of course, because that way they are going to be able to use some Genesects, and then they are going to slap the other Path to the Peak down. Okay, so yeah, they need to play, definitely. They need to play Path to the Peak here. Well, they draw 1 card, and that's it. Then play to the Peak, attack, and pass the turn. And again, keep hoping for the best. Keep hoping for the best. All that is separating the opponent for a victory is a boss's orders. That's all that is missing. Well, in this scenario, you could... Well, I was going to say that you could copy other attacks, but yeah, I guess that it's better just to hit as hard as possible. What is now the opponent going to do? They retreat, they promote the damage Mew and the boss's orders. So that is it, guys. So the Polish player, Pibulek, and again, sorry if I am not pronouncing it correctly, is leading the first semifinals 1-0. Which, again, like, it was kind of expected, seeing how both players started. One of them, I think that played like 6 Pokemon, all the 6 Pokemon in the very first turn, while the other only started with, well, a lone Mew and a lone Genesect, and this is it. So let's go into the second game. So yeah, I was kind of wondering why people kept going to the profile page. I thought that they were perhaps modifying the avatar, but no, it looks like, I mean, I have not used the friendly feature, the friendly match feature still, so, but I didn't know that in order to start a game you had to go to the profile page. Well, anyways, you learn something new every day. Okay, so the Mew player, of course, is going to go first, because again, the one that gets the first KO has the advantage, unless something really big happens, like someone missing the energy or missing the attachment for several turns in a row. Okay, so mulligans for both players, and now, okay, so the player gets, so Singaporean player gets to start. Again, like, the hand is not exactly ideal, but at least they will be able to set up a couple of Pokemon, which is good. I mean, it's better than last game for sure. So, and I think that they get to draw 2 cards, right? Unless I am not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. So 2 cards, which is not exactly what you want to see, but it's fine, it's fine. So as long as you have a couple of Genesects and a couple of Mews, I think you're kind of in a good position. Now, what would worry me is that my opponent would use Judge plus Path to the Peak and me not being able to draw out of it. But it is what it is. At the end, you need to play. So they decided to go for Mew, and maybe they are going to go for Ultra Ball, discarding some cards. to set up in what my opinion should be a second Mew. Because since you have the other VMAX, you have the VMAX on hand, so I think that it makes sense to set up a second Mew here. And if I were them, I think that I would discard Path to the Peak and Trekking Shoes. That would be my choice. Or Power Tablet. But if you are preparing yourself for a turn 2 KO, maybe Power Tablet should be kept in hand. But anyways, this is my inner Mew player speaking. So, okay, that is fine. And then that's it, right? Or you can, if you really want to, you can play Escape Rope. No, they are going to go ahead and set up a Path to the Peak. Okay, now on to the other Mew player. So let's see if they are able to get as many Battle VIP Pass as they did last game. So, okay, Genesect hits the bench, Battle VIP Pass. Okay, so something that I think that we can all agree is that setting up is not an issue for this player. And just, of course, this is just a joke. In fact, this is what Mew is supposed to do, right? That's why you run 4 copies of Cramorant, you run 4 copies of Mew, you run 4 copies of Genesect, you run so many cards to have a proper setup that when you whiff it, it really feels bad. But honestly, if there is a deck that can set up without any problems, that has to be Mew. Now, this is an interesting choice that I guess that will get explained by the fact that he already has another Mew in hand. Because if not, like, the priority is always to set up double Mew. You cannot just set up one Mew and hope that your opponent doesn't get the KO, especially in a mirror match. Okay, yeah. So that was it. So double Turbo Energy, Mew, they still won't be able to draw cards, but they use Judge. And this can change things. Okay, this can definitely change things. But still, I feel that if they are able, so if the Singaporean player is able to get the first KO, they are still pretty well in the game. Now, maybe something that they could have done, trying to anticipate the problems of a Judge, would be to play Escape Rope. To instantly play Escape Rope. But, well, you never know if your opponent is going to judge you or not. So I think that here you just attach the choice belt and go for Judge, right? And cross your fingers, trying to draw a way out of your own path. It's very weird when you are stuck by your own path, but this is what this deck does. At the end of the day, this is exactly what this deck does. Oh, I feel it. Double Battle VIP Pass, Double Battle VIP Pass. Okay, I completely feel it. It sucks because now you're in top deck mode, and the problem here is, again, like, technically you had the advantage because you were first, but you whiffed a way of getting over Path to the Peak, and now if your opponent has been able to draw a Lost Vacuum or for Sealed Stone, whatever, now you're suddenly behind. So at some point, it's just who bricks less with Path to the Peak. that is the strategy when you play a Mew mirror match. So don't break or run an out from Path to the Peak anyways. So, but I don't think that the opponent has a way out. So we are going to see a Serena discarding some cards. Oh, okay, so just some Cleansing Gloves. I imagine that the cards that the opponent had in hand were really, really good. Okay, so Mew VMAX hits the field, and that's it. So they are already taking the lead. Oh, that feels bad. That really, really feels bad, especially because the player that we are seeing everything from is in top deck mode. And why I mean top deck, and by what I mean by top deck mode is that either they draw something like, I don't know, a Lost Vacuum or a Forest Sealed Stone, or maybe again, like, this is over. I hate to say that, but I don't see them. Okay. So heads here might change things. So of course they are going to discard the Battle VIP pass, and tails. Oh, that is really unfortunate. It's why I don't. This is precisely why I try to avoid playing coin cards. Yeah, true. Chromomatic effect is really powerful, but it just is so disheartening when you just fail it, and when you know that it can be the difference between you winning or losing one game. So yeah, you just have Mew try to tank some attacks, and now it's up to your opponent. If they have boss's orders, if they get a KO here, I feel that they discard a Lost Vacuum. Okay, that's interesting, and they get a heads. Oh wow, I feel that this player has gotten like 5 heads in a row. But maybe I missed something. But that's it. So then you just evolve a second Mew VMAX, right? Or you play Escape Rope, you get another KO, and you're pretty much set up. Okay, yet another Chromomatic. Discarding one Power Tablet, but tails this time. Okay, tails this time. So let's see. Lost Vacuum, okay, gets rid of Temple of Shino and gets rid of Path to the Peak. So that means that they are going to be drawing a lot of cards. Okay, yeah, boss's orders into the Genesect. That's interesting. Well, I think it makes sense to boss orders the Genesect because now your opponent is basically without any drawing engine. So they draw 6 new cards with that Genesect, which is an ideal scenario. And then all you need to do is to evolve the Mew VMAX on the bench to attack, get the KO, and that's pretty much it, isn't it? That is pretty much it. Okay, so there we are seeing an Ultra Ball, so that guarantees the KO. So they are discarding 1 Cramorant and 1 Power Tablet. They evolve the Mew VMAX. And they don't need any damage modifier to KO the Genesect. So some more cards being drawn. It would be ideal if they could find a Path to the Peak here just to seal the game. It would be absolutely ideal. A Feather Ball to evolve the third Mew VMAX. Yeah, evolve the third Mew VMAX. Choice Belt into the active Mew, which is not going to attack, by the way. Another Fusion Strike energy, keeping the cards coming, and now you need to retreat into the new Mew VMAX and another energy. Okay, wow. So 3 VMAX, 3 Mew VMAX already powered, a Path to the Peak. I feel this is game over. Again, I feel this is game over. I don't know how anyone can can turn this situation around. What do you do? What do you even do? Yeah, nothing. I mean, yeah, you can maybe. I completely agree with the player forfeiting because it was absolutely impossible to get back into the game. I think this that we have seen is a great example of how unfair, don't get me wrong, but how unfair some of these Mew matches can get. It's about who sets up properly, it's about who gets the first KO, and it's about who is able to survive path and judge. And if you are not lucky with your draws, I mean, there is a limited number of things that you can do. But if your opponent uses judge and you draw nothing out of that judge, that is it. But at the end of the day, this is exactly why Mew VMAX is still relevant in the format, because Path to the Peak plus Judge is such a powerful combination that even to decks that are technically equipped to deal with them, they can still lose. So in case that you are wondering why people keep playing Mew, and if you have any doubts or if you had any questions, or if you were considering playing Mew for your gaps, it's still a great choice. I got, in fact, my World's invite playing Mew VMAX in my locals because I just needed like 30 CPs or something like that, and I got them by playing Mew, and it was a great experience. But I think that I already had everything, and I already had my time with Mew, but it's time for me to move into other type of decks, probably more like funnier ones. And that's it. So we have our first finalist, which is Mew V Max. I won't say as expected, but it was, in this kind of tournaments, especially best of ones, Mew is really, really powerful. So we are waiting for to see who wins between the other two players that are currently tying 1-1. But it seems that we are not going to be able to see the match being streamed because they are not streaming it in the channels here at Discord. So just give them a couple more minutes, and once that I see that someone is sharing their screen with me, I will be back with the final game of this tournament. So, yep, stay tuned. Okay, so just a quick update from my side. We already have the finalists. So it's going to be... Oh, no, wait. What happened? Yeah, it's going to be Mew, the one that we have been seeing for these past 2 games, against a guy with with a nickname that goes something like BBBBBBB Bingo, which I find it funny, by the way. So it's a player from the States, and is the one player that was playing Giratina with Lostbox. Now, they have not started the game, or at least I cannot see anything in the channel, but as soon as they share my screen, we will start casting. I have the feeling that theoretically, if they are able to draw correctly, Giratina has the advantage here because of Drapion and because of the V-Star attack from Giratina. But we will have to see. And just to make sure, yes, they ran one Drapion. So let's wait for a couple more minutes. I don't know if they've already started playing, but I will share everything with you as soon as I can. Okay, so me again. Just another update. So I just learned that apparently players are not capable of streaming their final game, which is very unfortunate. And it's a bit sad because we've been here for the past couple of hours and it has been very interesting to see players navigating this new format. But all things considered, I think that we can all agree that at least we have some nice time. I mean, at least I laughed. We got to see some quality games, and at least we didn't encounter any very weird and game-breaking bugs, as sadly has been the situation in other late night series. I'm going to cross my fingers and knock on wood just to send all my positive energy, and hopefully in the next tournament, which is happening tomorrow, right? Or in a couple of hours in North America, this stays like that. So we are going to end the stream, but very quickly, I'm just going to invite you to check the Limitless page, so that way you can see exactly who made Top Cat and with what. As I was telling you, if I am not mistaken, so if I am not mistaken, so we have Mew, Giratina, another Mew, then Arceus Duraludon, Arceus Giratina, Arceus Tapu Koko, and Arceus Giratina and Gardevoir. I think that the most surprising thing for me is the lack of Lost Box in Top Cat. I imagine that if many people, I feel, and this is my personal opinion, but since Lost Box has become the most popular and most played deck in the format, it makes sense that now people are trying to counter it, and really good ways of trying to counter it is with Arceus Giratina and with Arceus Duraludon. Lost Box has a very difficult time dealing with these really big Pokemon that have no weakness and that also can heal the damage of themselves. So, and in this scenario, then, well, you always have things like Mew using Judge and Path to the Peak to destroy us all, and Gardevoir that is still pretty reliable. I don't know why people don't give Gardevoir that much credit, but anyways. So we are going to end the stream right now. Again, I would have loved to cast the finals, but also, all things considered, I think that it's better for me to stop here because I need to wake up really early tomorrow for work, and staying up for another hour. It's already late here in Europe. I don't know in your countries, but it's already late for me here in Spain, and I need to get some sleep, or I will just drink an entire liter of coffee. So thank you so much for being here with me once again. I hope that you had some good time. I hope that you had at least half of the good time that I had while casting these events. I will try to be here back next week, and in case that you are interested, I just want to highlight that next tournament is going to be the tournament number 100 that the Shuffle Squad, so the late night series, has organized, and I feel that this is a really incredible milestone for the entire Pokemon community. So the last thing that I want to say is thank you all for having played these events for these past couple of years with us. It has been a pleasure. It has been a hell of a ride, and I hope that the next 100 tournaments are going to be even better, and hopefully life will be in a better situation. So thanks so much. I'm now heading to sleep, and it was a pleasure. We will see each other very soon in my Friday video, hopefully. So have a good, nice evening and a good night in case that you are in Europe as I am. So bye bye, and thank you for everything.